Okay, so now we're ready to cut with our saw, still unplugged. I'm gonna set my adjustment for height. So right-handed, I'm holding the handle here, and I'm holding the base with my left hand. So the only time you're gonna push the guard up to release it is gonna be to adjust it for your height. Left hand on the base, right hand on your saw itself on the handle. We wanna be a 1/4 inch below the lumber that you're cutting, roughly a tooth. So I'm looking on the side here, I can see, and then I'm gonna lock it. So now I'm set for the height. In the front here, I want to be zeroed out. I have a notch here, zeroed out. Okay, I'm good, I locked that down. Am I ready to cut? Am I ready to cut right now? Can I plug in? What's one of the things I should check before I cut?
If your blade is tight.
The blade is tight, okay.
Oil.
Oil we checked. What else?
If the cord is okay.
The cord is okay. Okay, we looked at the cord before. The cord's good. We have a ground on here. What would be another thing that I'm going to check? How about this surface of the wood that I'm cutting? I don't want to have any nails in it. I don't want to have any concrete on it. So I'm good. I marked my line here. Now, being that it's saw blade on the left side, I can see my line here. If I have my direct drive, I have to look over the saw to see my line. I prefer the skill saw, worm drive. I can see it. I'm looking right at the blade. So now I'm ready to plug in. Am I ready to plug in?
You're ready to plug in.
Okay. When I plug in, I take my cord, I'm plugged to my power source. I have power, we're lit up here. I plug in. And I keep my cord out of the way of travel here. I don't want my cord over here. I don't want to cut the cord. So the cord is out of the way. Also, my footing is a major concern too. We don't want to be stepping over a bunch of lumber, bricks, block, whatever. I want to have a nice smooth surface. So when I cut, I'm not stepping on something. So I'm looking at the line here. I want to make sure my base is flat on my piece of wood. Also, I want to see the line when I'm done cutting. So my saw blade is just going to graze the pencil line that I put on so I can see my exact number. My exact number is 7 to the line. I want to just see the edge of that line when I'm done cutting. So I'm going to start my cut off of my lumber. Disregard this notch because you won't see that after we get over this 2x4. So watch the blade cut. You're going to hold here and start your saw up. If I start to go and it binds up, I'm going to come back on it and then run through it again. Also, you don't want to be right behind the saw. It could come back and hit you. You don't want to be out here. You want to be comfortable that if the saw jammed up, it'll go right past you. Okay? So I'm comfortable. I'm looking at it. I start my saw up. Say if it bound up, I would back it up and continue my cut. If I got to this point, I don't want to put too much pressure when I'm finishing my cut, so I slow it up a little bit. I let it slowly, I let it stop, so I'm not picking up and the blade's still running in the air, and then I put the saw down. And here's my cut. You can see my line. That's the piece of lumber I want. It's nice and straight, nice and square. That's my cut. Any questions? So what we're going to do next is we're going to have one at a time. I'm going to show everyone how to cut. Even if you used the saws before, I'm going to have you change the blades, and then we'll go on to doing some cuts. So for now, that's the end of my lesson.